Hello and welcome to Fresh 60 Fresh Server. I am NBG. This is episode number 15 in the series. We've been doing pretty well making gold. We spent a bit yesterday to get some stuff back up on the auction house. We're sitting at 363 right now. Today should be a fairly quick video. There's not a lot going on in terms of gold making. It's pretty much just reposting and recrafting, and then if you want to, you can do some extra farms. This really is a slow time between now and the pre-patch. I don't think most farms are really worth it personally unless you really need the gold. I don't really need the gold. I'm making gold easy enough just by doing my standard maintenance stuff of tables and callings, but I am going to add in a farm today that I have never done, that I've always wanted to do. I've known about it for a long time because it's something that's used in classic crafting, and different things I'm seeing show that the gold per hour is pretty darn good. So I'm going to give that a shot today. So without further ado, let's get started. Of course, we're going to start with our table. Let's go ahead and start that, gather a little bit of gold. See if there's any more materials we'll get. Let that finish, and now we get to go check the mail. I wonder if we sold legendaries today. Remember, we sold 2 yesterday at really good profits. Let's see. There's 34k in here, so that means I think I sold at least 1. Let's scroll down and take a look. Yeah, we did have 1 Bone Shatter Arm Guard sell at 16k yesterday. That's like 9k profit, I think, something to that effect. That's pretty darn good. We'll take that. Everything else is from the farm that we did out on the Isle of Giants yesterday. That farm really was not very good. However, I did have competition. As much as I probably only made about 6.5k in that hour, the competition was well, I wouldn't say it was kind of high, but there was enough to where I wasn't getting as much as I could have. Let's just say that. So if you wanted to try that farm, I really do think it's better than that. I really think that was probably dang near worst case scenario. But yeah, if there's a lot of people out there doing that, or 3 or 4, or, you'll know when you go out there, right? If you seem to be contested, it's not that good. It's not one of those farms that a lot of people can do. If you're the only one over there, I could have pulled some decent gold per hour, but I pulled garbage yesterday doing that. So looking at everything else that we got, I sold some of the fresh level 50 gear. I sold everything that looks like everything that we did from the farm yesterday. I'm noticing that I had said that I'd put some pets over here that I had bought on my main server just because I had so much of the polished pet charms that I just needed to spend some. So I brought a few over here, and actually a few of them sold, like the blue flitter. Like, that sold for 9.5k yesterday. I barely ever sell pets that aren't like the bee pet, right? On my main server, I sold another bee pet yesterday. That one I sell constantly. However, other pets just haven't sold. But I will say that in the last few days, I've been selling pets on both my main server and this, and that's not normal for me. Usually nothing sells, and there's another one here for like nothing. But regardless, that brings 34k coming in, plus our multiple legendaries and other things that we're gonna have to go put back on the market. That is going to change our income to, on this character, currently at 398,000, but we do have more than that because of our thread flipper. So let's grab that. I'll take a look at the callings for today. But again, yesterday there was double in, where was it, Bastion, if I remember correctly. And then the next one that popped up was the Maw. I don't do the Maw one, so that means there's no way I'm even doing a calling until Tuesday, because the new one for Bastion just came out, so I'll wait until tomorrow. And then Tuesday, then there'll be 3. Hopefully we'll have 2 in Bastion again. But worst case scenario, I'll just do the Bastion one on Tuesday. With that, our next step is to head to the auction house, cancel scan, repost, and see if we need to recraft. Alright, we went ahead and reposted everything. Everything's back up, got the legendaries and stuff back up there. Let's double check to see if TSM wants us to recraft anything. Let's take a look. It does say I should recraft the treads. Oh yeah, I should. 21k profit is definitely something worthy of recrafting. this has been, looks like the markets have changed drastically. We're going to take a look at that here in just a second. These were all really, really, really low in terms of profit, and looks like they're back to big profits. So yeah, it might be back to crafting time. Let's take a look at the markets though. Let's pop in here. We're going to take a look at the mail. Look at the 291s. I mean, there's the one that I've been making, so it looks like it's the leather market primarily. Oh yeah, that's nice. So a lot of the main ones that I make in the leather have been reset in terms of their price. So thank God, right? Because now I have an opportunity to make some gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to recraft these legendaries and get these up there so I have even more opportunity to make a good buck. So I'm going to go ahead and recraft these, and then we're probably going to check out, or I'm going to recraft these, I'm going to post them, and then I will probably go and check out the thread flipper and see how that character's doing. Alright, we went ahead and we made those and we reposted everything. Let's take a look at how the thread flipper did. There's more stuff from yesterday. Let's gather all that. Look at that, I'm at 34k on this. The Luminous Flux, by the way, right now is selling way better in terms of like profit wise on the auction house right now over the thread. I don't even know if I'm making money on thread, to be honest. Let's double check the prices before I buy any more, actually. I had noticed the day before that like after the auction house cut I made basically nothing. So we're gonna go in here and we are going to look. So okay, 965 is enough to make gold, absolutely, and the Luminous 880 is definitely enough to make some good gold. So I'm going to be buying them both again. I have had really good luck with the Flux lately, so I may buy more Flux this time than Thread. We'll see. Again, I need to pay attention to how much gold I need for actual posting, but we made pretty good profit off of doing this yesterday, so I think I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to buy 2,000 Thread. And I'm going to buy probably, can I buy 2,000? I can, and that should be enough. That leaves me nearly 3,000 for posting, so I do think that I would not go over 2,000. Especially if, you know, people watching this or anybody else who catch on. The more people that do this, the harder it's going to be to actually make a return, because too many people will be posting and then your stuff's not going to sell. So for me, this is kind of my maximum that I will post up here. But let's go ahead and post. I always do it for 12 hours. There we go. Yep, that would definitely net some good gold. And these, they're selling so well. This would be a huge increase in gold. So there we go. Thread flipper. It was at like 34k. If you would include that 34k, we're at like, I don't know, math, 410,000, 415, something like that. Our gold's doing pretty good. So let's head back to the Druid and discuss today's farm. So for today's farm, I'm actually going to do a solo farm that I've never done. And the reason I'm doing it is because I've noticed it for a while. It doesn't seem like it's as good now as it used to be. But given that I had recently on my main server gone back and leveled like classic leatherworking, so that I could make like the Warbear woolies and stuff like that, I had run into some issues in terms of leveling, in terms of the expenses, and there was definitely some stuff I was seeing that required a material, and a lot of those things required this material. So I started looking into it, and then I noticed, wow, it looks like the gold for this is pretty good. And what I'm talking about is turtle scales. Now, I like to use the Worth It add-on, and I mostly just use this add-on to give me a route. A lot of times the gold per hour can be wrong, at least from every time I seem to use it, it seems to be wrong, right? But like even if we go down to skinning, you can see up here the exotic leather, which is the Isle of Giants farm. It has that at like 9.5k. I only did 6.5k yesterday, but I was contested. So theoretically, could I made, you know, 3k more? Honestly, I do think so. Like I do think that was kind of right. I definitely did not get that much exotic leather. I had about 2k, I think, 2k less giant bones than what this says you can get in an hour. So yeah, if you do the math there, like, it would have been much closer to this value. So I'm not knocking this and how it calculates or anything. I'm just saying, don't see something for, like, let's say 12k and think you're gonna get 12k. You might not, honestly, but you also might get more, right? I use this mostly for routes because I don't know great routes, like storm scale. If I wanted storm scale, like, I don't know a good storm scale route off the top of my head, so that's why I use this. So we're going to click on here and we're going to import the route. I'm going to say import. I do believe this is in Swamp of Sorrows. So where am I? Swamp of Sorrows is over here, right? Make me look bad that I can't remember where anything is. There, yeah, it is right there. And I don't think we can see it because I need to go over there. So I'm going to go over there real quick. And of course, it's been so long since I've been Horde that I kind of forgot that up here is where you go for the balloons. So yeah, don't be me. Yeah, we'll go over to Stranglethorn. That'll be the easiest. So here we are in the Swamp of Sorrows. As you can see, that's over here in Eastern Kingdoms. Go down here. There we go, right above the Blasted Lands. As you can see, it does mark it on the map. I actually didn't know it was just this little area right here. I don't really need a route to show me this. That's pretty easy, so that's good. So now that we're out here, the way I would usually do something like this is I usually always make a macro or just switch my macro. You can see these are the turtles that we're going to be killing. Sorrow Merc Snapjaws. So we're just going to change the first part. You actually don't need the whole thing. I can just type SORR or whatever, and it's fine. So now that when I hit that, obviously anything that starts with that SORR, it's going to target and it's going to kill them. Let's go ahead and turn on a loot appraiser. I'm going to loot and I'm going to start skinning, and we're going to check out the gold. So as you can see, we just got one turtle scale. It says they're selling right now for like 10 gold. Shows market value higher than that. I'll have to check when I get to the auction house. And oh, I didn't bring firewater. I'm bad at the game, guys. I would suggest bringing firewater to make your skinning faster. I really screwed up. I'm going to lose some gold per hour from doing that, but I'm sure as hell not going to go all the way back to the auction house. And I unfortunately never got the Brutosaur mount when it came out because I just didn't try, and I'm mad at myself for not, and now I regret it quite a lot, to be honest. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do this for an hour. I'm going to lose a little bit of gold just for not having firewater, I guarantee it. We'll do this, and we'll check on the gold per hour in a little while. So again, this is a very easy farm. Very, very, very easy farm. Just follow the water, kill the turtles, skin them, get some turtle scales. You're going to get some rugged leather. You're going to get other things like that. So see you guys in a bit. Alright, a couple things I want to talk about as I'm doing this farm. First of all, it is shaping up to be a pretty good farm, to be honest. I don't know if anybody has seen the other videos. I know a lot of you have, but remember when we did the thick leather farm out in, what was that, Desolus? Right, no. Where the hell was that? Now I'm annoyed at myself for not remembering. That was, oh yeah, Dustwallow. Jeez, why couldn't I think of that? Anyway, if you remember that over in Dustwallow Marsh, that was actually a pretty good farm. That was way better than expected. Well, this one, not just you get an okay amount of thick leather, but you're getting the turtle scales, which is the primary thing we're here for. You're getting some turtle meat, and you're getting some hides, you're getting a little bit of rugged, and you're getting some clams to open. Which, who knows the value there, but potentially good value there as well. So this farm is shaping up to be quite good. Now, it's also very, very chill because there's such a small area. It's kind of like the farm we did in Kata, yesterday? Or day before, whatever the heck day it was. I think it was the day before. That is actually, I didn't realize how good that farm is. That farm is super chill and easy as a skinner. I really enjoyed that one. Plus, it was like, what did we make? Like about 12K an hour off of that almost. Mostly because the prices were slightly inflated, but still, like 9 to 12K an hour doing that one. Like that was a very good farm. This one is shaping up to be at least that, so that's exciting. I will say I'm going to do this farm for about 4 more minutes, and then I'm going to take a break, and I'll come back, and I always do 1 hour, so I am going to come back and finish the other 30 minutes here in a little bit. But Fortnite had an update today. I'm sure maybe some of you know, or some of you have kids or whatever that play, but here in our household, you know, we like to play games together, so my wife and daughter are ready to play some Fortnite, so I'm going to go play that with them for a little bit, and then I will come back and finish this farm and see what our gold per hour is and go from there. So I'm going to keep on going. Alright, we are done with the farm. It seemed like it went really well. I'm back at the auction house. I opened up all the clams. We got a decent amount of pearls. There's at least a couple hundred gold here and some pearls from opening up the clams. We got some turtle meat. We got some clam meat from opening up the clams. There was an awful lot. We ended up with 403. We ended up with 403 thick leather. Pretty good. 104 rugged leather. Got some thick hide even. Got the turtle meat. Got the turtle scales. So yeah, this looks juicy. Let's start calculating by putting up the pearls. So here's about, yeah, I'll just do it 24 hours probably. Here's, what was that, 50 gold? About 50 gold there. Here's almost another 50. So if you add these, that's approximately 200 gold. Just quick math. About 200 gold there. We're gonna cut it for some auction house cut, so like let's say another 400. You're at about 600 gold. Thick leather, we're getting a decent amount. Let's take a little bit away. So let's say you're at about 4,100 coming in total. And turtle meat, you know, whole bunch here. So 4,100. So let's say you're at 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold, let's say about 5,100, let's say about 5,200, and then you also have these turtle scales. Now, when I started doing the turtle scales, it showed the cheapest were up at like 13, but it showed the market value of about 17. You can see that somebody has reset the price to 23. If that is the case, then we are getting over 12,000 gold just from the turtle scales, which puts this at, you know, approximately, like, good God, I mean, that puts us at like 14,000, you know, 16,000 plus gold per hour. Like, that's insane if that's really the case. You're getting over 12K, 12.5K just from the turtle scales. I already forgot how much the other stuff was going for. I probably should have written it down. But I believe we were at like a little over 5,000. So a little over 5,000 this. You're at like 17.6 minus the auction house cut. Yeah, like this is somewhere around 16,000 gold per hour. That is very, very good gold per hour. And we'll see how well this stuff sells. Price may drop because, again, that looks like it's a little bit high, but I said that on the last farm we did and everything sold like within like 20 minutes. So that's one of the ways that this auction house can help you, but it helps you in cases like this. It's going for items that are used in crafting, usually old translogs, whatever the case, that people don't want to go out and farm, that there's not an insane amount of competition. I mean, how much did I just add to the auction house right there? Like, let's go look. Can I quickly find it? I added 525 to the auction house myself, right? And let's look up the turtle scales. And how much is there total? Let's go back. And there's only 4,268 up here. Like, I added, you know, somewhere around 1/8, 1/9 of the entire amount that's on the auction house myself. So it's one of those items that there's not an absolute ton of competition on. So I think that's, if you're going to farm, one of the best things you can do is go and find one of those kind of things. You know, and one of the ways that kind of thing has popped up to me is like, I'll go like, man, let's find a leather, and I'll go and I'll literally look up leather and kind of look, you know, look for things like, oh man, there's only this many Arctic fur, you know, and the Arctic fur is one thing I've looked into. I've looked into pristine hides, like there's some different one. We obviously tried the Cobra scales. I do think that price on Cobra scales is up quite a bit from when we did it, but it's paying attention to things like that. I now know that if the turtle scales are at like over 20 gold per, that seems like that's going to be like a 15k gold an hour. And obviously if thick leather and rugged leather are a decent price, like thick is a little bit high right now, rugged is a little bit low, but all in all, we already did a thick leather farm, and that one was actually decent, and this one is way better. You get, you know, we got some pearls, we got some thick leather, we got some rugged leather, and we got some turtle scales, which really were really easy to get. You can see that the average region daily sold is 977. They do sell, right? So yeah, about 16k an hour, guys. That's a mighty good farm. That is by far the best farm we found for just a simple, easy solo farm. But that is the way that I find things. Is I'll go through here and I'll look at different ores and I'll look at different things, you know, titanium or whatever, and I'll consider, is there a way that I can gather this quickly? You know, silver ore at nearly 30, it looks like it goes over 30 gold per. You know, that means you can do some sort of combination of tin and copper and probably find silver. Every time you find some silver, that's a pretty good amount. So like that's when I would go, okay, I know what other golds what else I would find at the same time. So then I would probably go and I would take a look and see like copper and tin. Looks like tin's gonna be a little bit less even. You know, I'd kind of consider where those are at, and just because that's of course the bulk of what you would get. But there is some farms out there that are decent, long story short, but it's not going to be like it used to be. However, 16k an hour, man, that's a very good farm. I'm going to quickly do a cancel scan since I've been gone for a while. It looks like I have 23k coming in, so I might have, did I sell? No, I didn't sell those. I might have sold one of the legendaries. 291, 291. I know I had two of the same and I had this one, so I think I did sell one legendary, which I will double check in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel scan what I want to and repost, and then we'll close this video. Alright, we went ahead and reposted. I did remake. We did sell one legendary. I think we sold the waist guard. Not that waist guard. The good one. This one up here. It ended up being like 16k profit or something insane. So either way, we went ahead, we remade another one of those. We reposted everything to the auction house. Now I'll just cancel scan a couple times today, and that's about it. Quite surprised and, you know, ecstatic that last farm that we just did, that's going to pull in around 16k. That's a farm that's worth doing. That's something that'll get me out of Orgrimmar to go out and actually do it. 16k is not a solo farm to be scoffed at least in the current economy. So with that, I'm sure you guys have noticed things have changed. We had a couple crazy weeks of just terrible numbers, but things are changing a little bit. But the things that you're seeing change in terms of price are mostly server-specific goods, as well as like old school materials. Those are fluctuating a little bit. They are something to keep an eye out on, kind of like with the turtle scales. A lot of people are getting to that point where they're like, wow, farming isn't worth it. And to be honest, for the most part, it hasn't been. But things are starting to pop up and be worth it. But just remember, this is a region-wide commodity market. Things will change fast. You need to be one of the first ones to take advantage of it when a market changes, and you can still make good gold. in terms of just strictly farming. We've already talked about it in my previous episodes. This character specifically, I couldn't make legendaries for about a week and a half, if not more. I actually lost track of time, but it's been at least a week, probably closer to 2 weeks, if not more, that we weren't able to make legendaries because the profit margin fell down to about 1.5k on everything, and I wasn't going to even bother with it. All of a sudden, a couple days ago, I looked, saw the market had been flipped. All of a sudden, now there's back to, luckily, specifically on the ones I make, there's been a huge increase, and now there's giant profit margins, and I've sold a few, even at those giant profit margins, of like anywhere between like 9 and 23k profit, like really good profits. And that's awesome. And obviously that's why we made this character here, because I wanted to put myself on a server that had the ability to make good profits, just with the lack of competition and the lack of player count. That's why I chose a medium pop. Ended up working out. Things are going well. So this character's making pretty good money. You know, we have like 30 something K on our thread flipper. We have 373 on this right now. We at least have one legendary sold. We have another 16k coming in from the farm today. Things are looking up at the moment, and honestly there was about a 2-week period where they really weren't looking good in terms of steady income, but things are changing. That's my only point I'm trying to make. So keep an eye out, especially if you're somebody who enjoys farming. Watch the markets, you know, take a specific market, kind of like I briefly talked about, whether it's ore or herbs, and just go through and look at all those trade goods. You know, see if there's something at a good price, or, you know, see if there's something that you're familiar with and you know you can gather a decent amount of it. See what it's going for. There is stuff out there. I will also point out, like, the worth it stuff. Again, that I mostly just use this to show me on the map where the hell to go, because I just don't ever remember where everything's at. You know, but this had showed, and it looks like it even updated, but this had showed turtle scale, that farm, at, and I think I got well more than the 495 it says. And the thing is, I also didn't use a firewater, which I talked about. We could have made more gold than that if I had used a firewater. It said 101 rugged leather. I actually think that's about right. Thick leather, I think I got a little over 400, so that's close. I think I had 18 thick hide. I got, I think, well over that in turtle scales, but regardless, you know, that was around 16. It wasn't 12. The exotic leather farm I did, that was like 6.5, not 9.5. So again, I don't use these for the numbers. I might give them a general idea, and I'll kind of look at this and be like, oh, wind scales. I might go look it up on the auction house, kind of see where it's at and give it a shot. But it's not my be-all, end-all of, or anywhere close to that, in deciding what kind of farm I should go do. It's mostly, give me a damn route to run, tell me where to go, is kind of what I use it for. So again, you can use this add-on for all sorts of different things. You know, if there's cloth that's selling well, obviously not. I just clicked one. It even has raw gold farms. Interesting. You know, fishing, whatever you feel like doing, you can kind of get a place to go and where you should farm it. That's what I use. So with that, this video is over. Thank you guys for watching. This went well today, making good gold. I was going to do the 5-man group farm, but honestly, kind of like what we discussed in the first videos, I hate doing group farming. I just, it's not my cup of tea. I would much prefer to take less gold and go solo. Almost always, it's just my preferred playstyle. I still probably will do it just so we have a comparison to look at, because I think if you can find the right farm, and that probably is the right farm, that Shadowlands skinning actually probably is still good, is my guess. I don't know, but again, I don't know how much Desolate leather and how much bones you can actually get in 1 hour. I haven't tested it myself. I've done some solo farm that was pretty good, but I haven't tried the 5-man yet. But anyway, so that's on the list. I actually have a couple other skinning farms, like the one today, that I would like to give a shot and try. That will probably be coming next week. Next weekend's a big weekend, just considering that we should have the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 beta on PC. Again, I like playing a lot of games, you know. I don't just play WoW. It is my main game. I've been looking forward to Modern Warfare, the new one, for quite some time. I enjoy Call of Duty when Call of Duty is good, and I'm hoping it is that way this time. And again, who knows? But I am eager to get in there and test it and check it out. God dang it, get out of my way. Why does somebody do that every video? Anyway, I'm considering making a video about my perception of the beta from the casual dad, I just enjoy playing kind of perspective. Granted, I'm not, obviously I'm not some Call of Duty pro or anything, but I don't suck. I'm pretty good, But my form of playing something like that that's usually something I sit down and play with my family, right? I think about like the good old days of sitting down and playing with my buddies, and we didn't care, we just played. That's kind of the methodology I have when I play most things right now, and Call of Duty's not too much different. I don't put a lot of thought into it. I usually focus on unlocking camos and unlocking whatever, like the prestige type camo, like whatever the end camo is usually something I got. I did that with Vanguard. I got it in like a month and a half. Yeah, that, and I play with my wife and my daughter. It's just something we enjoy doing, is sitting down and playing together, right? So thinking about making a video on that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm aware that anybody who's watching this is here for WoW content, and I don't really know as a content creator what I should do about that. Yeah, so I mean, if you have any suggestions, let me know. But I understand that anybody who's watching this is here for Warcraft content. But I don't just play Warcraft. I play a lot of games, and yeah, and I'm very excited for Call of Duty and to try it out. So anyway, enough of that. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know if I'll get a video out during the week. Probably not. It really sucks. It's probably not going to be until like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like these videos have. But hopefully we can get some growth. I need to get over 500 subs so that I can start having the community board where I can like send out a message midweek or a poll or ask a question or any of that kind of stuff. I'd love to be able to do that, just to have even more conversation with you guys. That would be awesome. But I don't get that until I'm over 500 subs. We were well on our way. Like, wow, I really loved the growth we were having, and that is unfortunately since but died, since I haven't been able to post every day. So it kind of sucks that the algorithm and everything works that way, that I'm so punished for not posting all the time, it seems. But regardless, that's something for me to worry about, not you guys. I just want to make content that you guys find useful. So anyway, thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I could do better. Let me know what you want to see. And I will see you next time.